Hey, I'm Brady with Churnkey, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to surround yourself with Lamborghinis and butlers. You'll have private jets, you'll have private yachts, you'll have private cars, I don't know, private people, whatever you want. And the way you get to that level of wealth is by optimizing Churnkey. Oh, see how I brought that full circle? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get the most out of your Churnkey account, really allowing you to just maximize the performance of your Churnkey account. So let's get started. When you first get in here to cancel flows, come over to flows. And this is probably the number one tip I have for everyone who's using Churnkey is you always want to be split testing. You always want to be trying out different offers, different audiences, and seeing what converts best for each individual case. So you can see in this one, we're having a split test for a short pause duration. You can see for the customers who have 3 months lifespan and older, we're allowing them to pause for up to 3 months. And we're also split testing, allowing them to only pause for 1 month. So I really recommend doing these split tests all the time. You can see the results right here in this view results tab. And this just allows you to pick, okay, which one of these is probably looking better. So in this cancel flow here, you can see we have a bunch of people who are pausing for 3 months. We have about a 34% retention rate. In this cancel flow down here, we have only a 27% retention rate. And we have a few people who are pausing for 1 month, but it's just not that many. So you can decide which one of these you would like more based off of your own objectives. This one has a really nice time to revenue. You don't have to wait 3 months. You can just wait 1 month. And this one is recovering more. So that might be interesting for more people as well. So you can decide what kind of split test you want, but always be split testing. So the way you can do that is you can find any cancel flow you have here, click this little arrow next to edit, and then click create A/B test. And this is going to run you through the full cancel flow A/B test creation. I've got another video right here up top to the right that's going to show you how to do that in full. But that's probably tip number one, is always be split testing. Another thing I like to do is inside the cancel flows itself. So come over here to your cancel flows, click edit, and then scroll down here to your cancellation survey. So one thing that I don't see a lot of people doing that you really should is be randomizing this response order. So all you have to do is make sure that this is set to yes. And what I really like about this is that it just makes sure that there's no bias in what people are selecting as their cancel reason. So if you always have doesn't fit my budget showing up top, or maybe switch to a different product showing up in the middle, then there's going to be sort of a selection bias that people maybe they want to cancel. They're just going to select the first thing they see, tap on that, go to the next step, and it's going to bias your results. So this is really good to have that randomized response order in there. And then also, I usually recommend not having an other option. So you'll see a lot of times people have this other option down here. So they'll have like 4 different things and then an other. I don't really like this other option because it doesn't give you any idea of what's actually wrong, why people are canceling. So if you're not sure why people are canceling, then I recommend leaving it to say 4 to 5 things, maybe 3 to 5 things is pretty good, just to give you an idea of what people are wanting, and then enabling this free form feedback. That's really what I like doing a little bit more than having the other right there. I just feel like it's a little bit more effective to allow people to kind of explain why they're canceling, and it's just super helpful for you. So I recommend getting rid of the other and instead enabling that free form feedback, and always, always, always lead with some initial offer. I love seeing pauses here. Sometimes discounts, but I think pauses are a little bit more effective because if someone clicks cancel and then you immediately offer them a discount, it feels like it almost kind of devalues your product, but you should be split testing this for your business case. And then I think the last tip for cancel flows, it's also a really big one, is you always want to be segmenting these for different kinds of customers. So you can see this is a cancel flow we have for customers who are 3 months and older. And then the rest of these are for different kinds of audiences. But I always recommend segmenting your cancel flows based off the plan that someone is on, based off their billing duration. You can do that just by creating a new cancel flow, come down here to conditions, and then you can set this to either billing interval, subscription price, product, subscription age. Any of these are fine, but I really, really like the billing interval and then the product or subscription price, because you just have different ways that you want to communicate with different kinds of customers. So if someone's on a monthly plan, you probably want to communicate to them differently than someone who is on, say, an annual plan and has a much bigger billing. Or if you have different kinds of products, you might communicate differently with someone who's on, say, a monthly plan versus someone who's on, say, an enterprise plan. So I really recommend having these different kinds of segmentations, whether it's based on product, whether it's based on how long they've been with you, whatever that might be on. But I definitely recommend having that segmentation in your cancel flows. You always want more than one cancel flow. And you just figure out what offers work for those different kinds of people. Because, rich people on enterprise plans, they're kind of snobby. They might want different stuff than all of us regular poor people. And those are probably the big tips that I have for cancel flows. If you want more customized advice, then of course you can always contact us. But now let's go over to payment recovery, because there's some other really cool stuff here. So I want you to come to payment recovery and then campaigns. And these are all your payment recovery campaigns. And then open this and come here to edit. So this is one thing I really like doing, is for everyone who is sending these emails, in your payment recovery campaigns, I like to send them from different people. Because what happens if you have all of these from, say, John Welling, then if someone's in, say, Gmail or another similar email client, that a lot of times these emails like get threaded together. So you'll just have one, and then someone can open that and they'll just kind of like see all the emails stacked up. And I think it's super overwhelming for clients, especially because you're like trying to get them to pay you. And what we're really fighting against here is procrastination. So when people are seeing these kinds of things, it just gives them more and more reasons to be like, oh, that looks scary. I'll deal with that later. What I really like is to have different names here. It opens all of these up in different email threads so they don't get all bunched in together. And I think there's some element here that's like, oh, hey, who is John Welling? Oh, okay, gotcha. He wants my payment. But wait, who is Baird Hall? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is payment thing. I forgot about that. And then it's like, oh, wait, John Welling again. He emailed me again. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I need to do that payment. So I think it's just really helpful to modify these sender names so that they are different people. We've tested this across tons and tons and tons of campaigns. This really does work. It's just kind of best practices. So just change the sender name. You don't even have to change the sender email address. You can, but you totally don't have to. But definitely change that name. Just make sure these are kind of like fairly well-known people in your company. A customer might be like, oh yeah, like I know who that John Welling guy is, or oh yeah, I know who Baird is, or whatever. But I really recommend doing that. And then once you have different sender names there, I want you to come over here to settings. And this one's a really easy one. Just make sure the precision retries are turned on. If they're not turned on, then please reach out to us right now. These make such a huge difference in your recovery rates. I think I've told this story in a video before, but when I was using Stripe Dunning recovery, I was getting like just a very small amount of payment recovery back. And then I turned on Churnkey's precision retries, and I'm not kidding at all. It 10x'd our recovery rate. Okay, I think that's not typical. Most businesses see like 20 to 30% lift on top of what Stripe does, but it was a huge impact for us. So I definitely recommend having these precision retries turned on. And that brings us to, I think, probably our last big tip is the payment wall. The payment wall is a really cool way to prevent people from getting access to your tool when their payments are not going through. So you can make this a soft wall, or you can make this a hard wall, meaning you can allow people to bypass it with a little bit of work, or you can just say, look, if your payment's failing, you can't get in our app at all. But we really recommend having this payment wall. It's fairly easy for your devs to do. Just come over here to the documentation. Link is in the description below this video. And your devs can pretty much just copy paste this. It works super well. It's really cool. And it's just a good way to remind people to update their cards, to make sure that their payments are coming through, and to make sure that they're not taking advantage of your business. And that's pretty much it for our top tips for using Churnkey. If you have any questions, you can always get in contact with us on the bottom right here. We love to chat. We're super friendly. I love to talk to you. I don't think I'll talk to you because I don't know, I'm probably busy or something, maybe managing all my butlers and Lambos, but you'll probably talk to someone else who knows how Churnkey works and can talk with you to maximize how much you're recovering and how much you're lowering your own churn. So again, feel free to get in contact with us. It's always our pleasure to help you lower your churn.